The most dangerous man in WWE just dropped to one knee. The Samoan werewolf, the beast who has destroyed everyone in his path, the man who swore he would never bow to anyone, kneeled before Roman Reigns on live television tonight and said two words that shook the entire WWE universe to its core. Welcome to Slam Nation, the ultimate home for the most insane, unpredictable, and explosive wrestling drama on the planet. Tonight in Turin, Italy, the fallout from Clash in Italy detonated like a bomb in the middle of Monday Night Raw, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever be the same inside the Bloodline story again. If you love WWE drama and insane wrestling moments like this, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to Slam Nation, and turn on notifications because things are only getting crazier from here. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now because I want to know whose side you are on. Let us rewind the clock just 24 hours, because you cannot understand what happened tonight without understanding the gravity of what went down at Clash in Italy. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu stood across from each other one more time in tribal combat, with everything on the line. The World Heavyweight Championship, the soul of the Bloodline, and the very identity of what it means to be the tribal chief hung in the balance. This was not a wrestling match. This was a war between two men who share blood, share culture, and share an unquenchable hunger for power. And when the smoke cleared in that Italian arena, Roman Reigns was still standing. Jacob Fatu was not. But what happened next shocked everyone, because losing was only the beginning of Fatu's nightmare. The stipulation that had been locked in from the moment these two agreed to tribal combat was brutal in its simplicity. If Jacob Fatu lost, he would be forced to acknowledge Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. Not suggest it. Not imply it. Publicly, on camera, in front of the world, bend the knee. And if he refused? General Manager Adam Pearce had made it crystal clear. Fatu would be fired. Gone. Done. The Samoan werewolf would be put down for good. Fans could not believe what they were seeing. The Raw in Turin opened with Roman Reigns already standing tall, already commanding the arena to acknowledge him with every fiber of Italian air in that building. The OTC looked untouchable. The Usos flanked him like soldiers. GUSO was already pointing at the entrance ramp, already demanding that Fatu show up and do what the stipulation required. But here is where things got even more interesting. Jacob Fatu was late. The Samoan werewolf did not rush to the ring. He made them wait. He made Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the reigning world heavyweight champion, stand in that ring and wonder for a moment whether Fatu was going to walk out on the whole thing and dare Pearce to fire him. Nobody expected this moment to carry that kind of electricity. And then the music hit. Jacob Fatu walked out, and the tension in that arena was unlike anything Raw has produced in years. This was not a man walking to his execution. This was a man walking to a reckoning on his own terms. Fatu stepped into the ring, looked Roman Reigns dead in the eye, and grabbed a microphone. He made a joke about it being his first day on the job, lightening the mood just enough to let everyone exhale before he pulled the air right back out of the room with what came next. Fatu said he knew. He knew the consequences. He knew the repercussions. He knew exactly what he was signing up for the moment he agreed to tribal combat. Taking losses, he said, was not new to him. Losses had shaped his entire life. Every hardship, every setback, every moment the world counted him out had brought him to this exact spot, standing in front of the most dominant figure in WWE history. And then Fatu said something that cut through the entire arena like a knife through silk. He said that last night, at Clash in Italy, in front of the whole world and in front of his own children, his kids watched their father be a man, take a loss, and keep his word. The WWE universe exploded after this happened. Fatu paused, looked down, and then looked back up at Roman. He said that last night, he lost to his tribal chief. And then, with measured precision, he added one more line. He said he did not lose to GUSO. He made sure everyone in that building knew that his acknowledgement was going to Roman and Roman alone. It was part defiance. It was part respect. It was all Jacob Fatu. And then he dropped to one knee. The Samoan werewolf, the man who flattened legends, the man who ran roughshod over the entire roster, placed one knee on the canvas and raised his hand toward Roman Reigns. OTC chants rained down from the Italian crowd. Roman Reigns stood over him, took a deep breath, and then did something nobody quite expected. He reached down, clasped Fatu's hand, and pulled him back to his feet. Reigns looked him in the eye and told him he loved him. This completely changed everything, because this was not domination. This was not Roman humiliating a fallen enemy. This was Roman Reigns doing what the tribal chief does best, absorbing strength, pulling power into his orbit, and making the most dangerous man on the roster his soldier instead of his rival. In that single moment, the bloodline grew its sharpest tooth. Reigns, Fatu, and the Usos stood together, for men raising one finger in the air, the iconic bloodline gesture signaling that the head of the table's family just became something far more terrifying than it has been in years. Things became even more chaotic backstage. Because while the Bloodline was reclaiming its throne in the middle of the ring, the cameras caught something that nobody was supposed to see quite so plainly. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes shared a brief, loaded stare-down backstage after Clash in Italy wrapped up. No words were reported. Just a look. Just two men who both understand that the road from here leads directly to the biggest collision WWE can produce. Reigns then turned to GUSO and told him to win the King of the Ring tournament. Told him in that quiet, commanding way that only the head of the table can. G left. Jimmy USO was told to stay close. Roman Reigns is already 3 steps ahead of everyone else in this game. But here is the question that should be keeping every single one of you up tonight. Is Jacob Fatu truly loyal to Roman Reigns? Or did a man who has spent his entire life absorbing losses just make the single most strategic decision of his career? Fatu was careful with every word in that ring. He acknowledged Roman. He did not erase himself. He carved a specific line when he said his knee was not for G. He kept one piece of his identity intact even while kneeling. That is not the behavior of a broken man. That is the behavior of a man playing a longer game. And Roman Reigns, who has built his entire legacy on reading people, who has seen betrayal from inside his own family more times than anyone should have to endure, pulled that man to his feet and said he loved him. One of two things is true. Either the Bloodline just became the most dangerous faction WWE has ever assembled, or Roman Reigns just invited a wolf into his house and handed him the keys. The WWE Universe is going to find out which one it is, and when that answer comes, it is going to blow this entire story apart in a way that none of us are ready for. Think about the history here for just a moment. Roman Reigns built his entire 4-year championship reign on the backs of people who acknowledged him. Sami Zayn acknowledged him and it almost destroyed the Bloodline from the inside. The Usos acknowledged him and then walked away when the price became too high. Every single person who has ever bent that knee to the head of the table has eventually had their moment of reckoning, their moment where the cost of loyalty revealed itself to be something they never agreed to pay. Jacob Fatu knows that history. He lived inside it. He watched it from the outside before storming through the door himself. So when Fatu kneeled tonight, he was not just fulfilling a stipulation. He was making a calculated move in a game that is far from over. Slam Nation, the Bloodline saga is not over. It has just entered its most dangerous chapter. And you are not going to want to miss a single second of what comes next. If this script had your heart racing, smash the like button right now, subscribe to Slam Nation, and share this video with every wrestling fan you know because the drama we are about to witness is going to be talked about for years. Drop a comment below and tell me the truth. Do you think Jacob Fatu is genuinely loyal to Roman Reigns, or is the Samoan werewolf already planning his revenge? Sound off right now because Slam Nation is just getting started.